frankly, one thing you must remember, that inflation in the West is good for India. Because if you have higher levels of average inflation over longer periods of time in the West, and with a broken trade cycle, a broken trust cycle, which many of the Western markets have had with a big producer like China or a big supplier of certain commodities like Russia, this only means good for India. On the services side, we will be much more cost effective, and the way we are building our infrastructure as well as logistics, there's a time very soon in the next 5 to 7 years, we will be a manufacturer to the world, right? So inflation is, yes, bad globally, very high, but you've also had very long periods of time where you had unjustifiably low inflation. Large part of that was low cost of production because of China and certain other markets. So I think, as your question is, Sujit, for India, how India can take advantage of that, as Navneet said, right? Push creating a new global supply chain, right? Get more global linkages, have more trade linkages, and try and make sure that we are pushing more into the global supply chain and take advantage of that, whether it's services where we are already very strong, and move and foster that relationship with global buyers even for manufacturing. So I also think that part of inflation would not have been as high that we're seeing today without a war. And there is a big war which is on in a very important part of the world when it comes to commodities. And I think at some point in time that will settle, and the numbers will be lower. They may not go back to where they've been, but they will be lower. But having said that, the other side of this entire show also is the amount of money the world has printed, right? Specifically in the US. It's very easy to print money, but it's very, very hard to take it back. And that's going to be a very slow unwinding process. And again, in that context, India becoming part of a global bond index, the kind of FDI flows India is seeing, forget about FDI's flow, right? They are hot. That's hot money. But FDI flow, bond flow, all of those are all positive momentum for India as a country. So I think I only see positive out of this, and I think if we take the right steps, we will take huge advantage of this Western inflation for us at home here.